All right, I'll give this a shot. Looks like normal bans are going out today. Your Twisted Fate for his map control. Your Kennen is extremely strong, potent late game as well as in lane phase. And then your normal tank junglers, so Malphite, Shen, Jarvan, they can all jungle really well. And they're also, all three of those are also potent top lane with late game presence that they have and team fight synergy.
I feel like right here we have the have a targeted Rivet ban against the purple team. I don't know the teams because I'm used to seeing team names, but for right now, Riven looks like to be a targeted ban.
Yeah, she's very powerful right now, and we also see the first pick Hecarim. That's your AoE tank ultimate, so we'll see what kind of synergy they build off of Hecarim.
It's a very dangerous champion to leave open. They also left open Nunu, so we'll see if Purple goes for a pickup on that. We do have Leona being hovered over. Very, very good support.
Yeah, her lane presence CC. You don't really see her blind picked often. You'll usually see her with Blitzcrank or maybe even a Thresh pick. But she is still a potent champion to choose. That AoE ultimate she has will help counteract and counter-initiate the Hecarim ultimate. And you also see Orianna very good at counter-initiation.
So right here, just from these two picks of Leona and Orianna, they're looking for that team fight synergy of just all the CC possible. Going just like the slows, the stuns, and just the shift around from Orianna is just going to be amazing. We do have Ezreal and Lulu being hovered over. Ezreal locked in, Thresh now being hovered over. So we'll see where this goes right here, but either one of those picks both help Ezreal in lane.
I think Lulu was the better pick, so I'm glad they locked that one in with the synergy of Hecarim ultimate fearing, and then Lulu on top of that having that AoE knock-up ability, also strengthening Hecarim's HP. So it's a very good synergistic team right here so far. And Ezreal's
on top of that, when that ultimate, the first 3 auto attacks that come out from that ultimate from Lulu also slow on top of that. So it's just a ridiculously overpowered ultimate. Just a bunch of 80 carries being shifted around from Tank Veigar right here. So we'll see what he picks in.
I was going to mention the Ezreal pick. Once you see Orianna and Leona, Ezreal's a good choice just because of how slippery he is in team fights and how much motion and movement he has in terms of kite ability. So he'll probably build blue build and use that to his poke advantage. I'd be excited to see if they choose 2 more poke champions to go against this other team.
And Misfortune got locked in for that, so I think they really are going for that ultimate synchronization with that Leona stun in the bot lane for early game. Jace has picked up too, a really, really bruisey top laner. And we do have Kog'Maw being picked up. He might be in the mid lane.
Yeah, Kog'Maw.
He's just being covered over. It could be a troll pick, but it's there.
Kog'Maw AP does exist. Not really. It's seen a little bit of fringe play lately. And I thought they were going for that somewhat poke comp with blue build Ezreal Kog'Maw. You have your poke there. Jace, and depending on how much thought they put into the picks, Jace is a good defensive pick because having that on blue team would have been devastating with how much poke would come out of that if they did have Jace over Swain.
So both those are being locked in, Swain and Kog'Maw. Swain probably in the top lane. Just a very, very nice pick against Jace. He's going to be poked down early, so we're going to have to rely on heavy ganks from Hecarim in the top lane.
I'm not sure how the Poppy pick goes. That shows that Poppy's jungling right now? Okay, there we go, Zach. That makes more sense. Alright, and that gives them their extra initiation and will also help them with their gank ability and lane presence. Zach is so strong with that elastic ability he has.
And he has just the ability to go over walls. The infamous snipe Baron that we saw in All-Stars from St. Vicious. So that might be an option if he's that good. we'll see if that comes out. But overall, he's just a bouncy champion all over the place.
As we get started here, it looks like they did go for that AoE team comp like you had mentioned previously, with Oriana, Misfortune, Leona, and Zac. They have a good amount of AoE CC and damage. And from the blue team, we have a good counter initiation setup where Swain, with the Swain hold, we'll see some sort of initiation with that or with Hecarim Ultimate. And the synergy they have to counter initiate is pretty great here.
I just can't wait to see these ults because AoE comps are probably my favorite comps to watch in team fights. They show the most that a team can do and what they can pick up, especially with that Leona, because Leona never stops going on to people. It's just stun root after stun root after stun root. So we'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, in terms of lane matchups, Lulu Ezreal's a little more pokey than Misfortune Leona is. And we'll see that Ezreal and Lulu, they should have a strong early advantage in the first few levels, as long as they don't get all-ined by Leona. And in terms of mid lane matchup, what did you think was going to be there, Swain or Kog'Maw?
I actually think it's gonna. I've been seeing a lot of Swain top lately, so I'm hoping it's Kog'Maw because I've seen Kog'Maw mid. He is just a really rippy champion. He will just nuke your face off with that ultimate, just doing everything he can with AP on him. Might even see a blue build. I've seen that in a ranked game about a week ago, and it was scary. I cried. It was it was horribly amazing. It was just the damage. It was tons of it. And he just has an ability to poke Oriana possibly with that ultimate once 6 comes around. But I'm still going. My favorite matchup right now is the Ezreal Lulu because Lulu does counter Leona fairly well. Once a Zenith Blade comes on, she goes for the polymorph, so she can't get off that second stun. And it just kind of shuts down. And when we were going to see that blue build Ezreal, it's just going to counter Misfortune from that move speed passive just a lot. Just, she's never going to be able to walk fast again. After this game, she's going to need to take Swain's cane.
I can't argue with that logic.
I apologize, I make jokes and puns. It's my job.
Oh, you'll get me laughing. That's all right. But we'll see. Late game team fights, we'll see how Lulu skill builds. There's a lot of different builds with Lulu, whether it be to max Glitter Lance or to max Shield. I know a couple of my friends like to max the Shield first and lane for lane presence, but Glitter Lance with that slow is also extremely brutal. And I personally prefer Glitter Lance, but maxing Whimsy second tends to be the wise choice with how much CC time you get out of that polymorph.
Yeah, that's the route I usually go because Lulu is my main. Every time I see a Lulu, I usually vote for that team because again, like if I was an actual League character, I'd probably be Lulu. But it's her like she's so ridiculous. I talked to rioters left and right about her utility kit, and they go ecstatic for it because they made such a well-rounded champion there. Enough that they had to actually nerf her a few patches back. Actually, I think it was a month ago. They upped the mana cost on her Glitter Lance level 1.
She did need it. The amount of poke she had in lane was absolutely ridiculous.
Because it was only 40 mana before, and everyone was like, I can use this every 5 seconds. Ridiculous, and they upped it to 60, and it made me sad. But again, her poke is just amazing.
I don't know, your normal picks lately. That's why I was confused about the early Leona choice. With that early Leona choice, you open up. You just ask for them to play Lulu. Because you're not going to pick a Sona or a Blitzcrank or a Thresh into Leona. Usually your Leona is your counter pick for support. And surprisingly, there are a lot of logical counter picks. for support. People underestimate that. Pick support first, I'll trade you. Like, no, we should wait to counterpick. And
I mean,
that
unless you're
actually
gonna
wins
first
bot
pick
lanes.
Thresh. Yeah, unless you're gonna first pick that Thresh since it was left open, that's the only time you really go for that first pick. But they didn't do that. Thresh actually does counter Leona with that Flay level 1, just leaving her to not use her Q or Zenith Blade early, and it just it shuts down a lane.
Yeah, the thing with Thresh, though, is level 1, a lot of people like to grab Hook for that early invade rather than Flay. So level 1, Leona tends to run strong, and then it all depends on your matchup in lane and how your AD carry is poking. Whether you have a poke ADC or you have an all-in ADC. Theoretically, if we had Thresh Ezreal, I think Thresh Ezreal would do well here, just because Ezreal outpokes Misfortune. Because of the ridiculous range on his Mystic Shot. So, I think you're correct.
And Lulu does have the best skin in game. I actually like looking. One of our casters that we occasionally have on, Postilio, he does the League Fashion Report, and so far I liked the times he's done it. So we have Pulsefire Ezreal, who is just a skin who even pro players bought, because when you play him, you feel that much stronger. Like, you feel like his stuff hits harder because you're Pulsefire Ezreal. And Dragon Tamer Lulu is just the most adorable thing in this game. And then Lion Dance Kog'Maw with the fireworks. Iron Solari Leona, the best Leona skin, and my favorite League artist. And just basic Jace, which always looks like a skin to me, but doesn't. And I realize it's not the TF2 medic. And then we have the Gothic Orianna.
Yeah, the Lulu skin, they really got our pockets there, making it $13.50.
I heard about that skin. I raked as much RP together as I could, and I bought that. It was the first. I only played that for the day. And we are into game here.
Alright, let's see what kind of builds we have at the start. You got your standard. It looks like everyone's building pretty standard so far. No, nothing too weird. Both ADCs are going Dorn's Blade. They should both be running Lifesteal Quints. At least 4 to 6% to help them keep that lane sustain if they go Dorn's Blade. If they're not running Lifesteal and one is, there's going to be a lot of unfair trades in lane.
A summoner has reconnected.
And I'm still getting the game because my client decided to crash. GG Riot.
Hecarim just reconnected in the game as well. He is not. There he goes.
Oh,
He's
and we
bought.
do have what looks like it's going to be First Blood onto Lulu right there. I don't really know what she was doing. So alone out there, not putting out wards, and just got down. Lulu, what was that?
I think she was relying on Hecarim to be there. I wasn't sure if she realized he didn't connect yet. I'm not 100% sure. But with that lack of one person, you lose out on a lot of player vision.
And Zach did pick up that first kill, I believe, right there. And that's just going to be a devastating issue because now he has early jungle and he's just going to go and steal left and right.
I think with Hecarim's clear time that Zach won't be able to counter jungle far too much, but he will be able to get ganks off a lot quicker with that First Blood.
And that First Blood is just gonna, again, it's just gonna hurt them. Now they're gonna have to play very, very passively and just play protected for that blue buff for Hecarim to secure it.
Yeah, it looks like Hecarim will get this blue buff fine. We'll see where Lulu strategically puts wards throughout this game. Zach's gank angles are very awkward. So if bot lane starts to push at all towards Zach, they really need to ward the tri-bush past the enemy turret, past purple team's turret, for elastic ganks. We'll see what kind of strategy they implement there with wards.
And Orianna already in the mid lane doing quite the amount of damage, and in the top lane is just passive farming. And the bot lane is just right the same way now.
Yeah, mid lane, Orianna versus Kog'Maw. Orianna will have the early advantage with how strong her passive is. And, yeah. until 6 when Kog'Maw can poke back. Bottom lane.
We do look like we have Hecarim is going to go down to Orianna right there. The Ignite went on. He got countered. Earlier, they did put down the wards when they did pick up that kill onto Lulu, so that just put them ahead so much. It's now 0-2, and the gold lead's already up.
Yeah, in our bottom lane, we just had an unfair trade as well. It was getting pretty heated down there. But we'll see if Ezreal can out-lifesteal to get his HP back and continue farming. He's starting to fall behind already. 18-11 currently.
Swain is too in the top lane. Right now, his CS is 10 below that of Jace. Jace does have that range, and he's poked down fairly hard right now. Jace at full health, and Swain just at half right now, just being poked left and right. The tower not even trying to assist him right now. And the Ignite going off onto Swain and onto Jace. Jace gonna be safe, and they're both gonna live it out.
Jace got pretty greedy
is in
there.
The top lane.
With Jace's greed, he had free reign over. He had wards seeing
Hecarim isn't gonna go on that. He went to do it. He was like, I can secure this, and then just didn't. Last minute, backed out.
Jace gave up a really key opportunity there to out-farm and just bully Swain off the lane even more. He could have continued to snowball his lead gradually rather than try to dive for that kill. I think it would have been wiser to do that, just continue to poke and out-farm the Swain rather than try to dive for it, but that's hindsight at its best.
I mean, he already does have the CS lead on him by, again, just about 10 right now. In the bot lane, we do have the CS lead going to MF, so everything right now is just going to purple team.
Yeah, I looked up a few of the players' individual rankings prior to this game, and in terms of rankings, although it's independent from this current game, TeamRealDeal, purple team, definitely outranks them in terms of how long they've been playing and how they've gotten out of ELO hell. So we'll see if they can overcome those odds and topple. It's a David Goliath matchup, so.
And we do have Zac sitting in the top lane. Might we see a gank go on to Swain right here? He's getting dangerously right there. The slow is off. He is hitting the pounce onto him, knocking him back. The chase ball did come out. Will we see damage? Just a little bit more, Jace. Just one more ball and you missed.
Yeah, the only thing we lost there was miscommunication between Zac and Jace. The initial shockwave that came out from Jace was dodged by Swain by accident because Zac knocked him out of the way. Just a slight miscommunication.
He's still dependent to go really hard onto him. Got a nice knockback and a lot of damage onto him, sending him into the red zone right here.
Top
we do
lane
have the pink wards.
Top lane is extremely one-sided with the creep farm, 34-9 in Jace's favor. Swain is just trying to hang on, it seems.
Swain is literally just grasping for life right now. Gonna have to back because if he takes another blast from Jace, he is gonna go down. And you don't want that top laner with a kill. He already has his one assist, and right now that's just setting him back far enough.
If I was in Swain's position, I would personally be buying a pink ward here to have Hecarim camp out Jace just for a little bit of time so Swain can try to claw back and catch up. Small leads make a huge difference. And, Swain really needs to come back. If you look at the level difference as well, Jace is level 6 and Swain's still struggling at 4.
Yeah, and right now, Jace hasn't even been buying wards for his lane. He's just been up there. He knows he's safe. But that might lead to his demise in the top lane if they do get a well-timed gank. And we do have Orianna going to be stealing this blue from Ponyboy. A.k.a. Hecarim. Sorry. I just default call him that. but she did steal the enemy. She did get the enemy blue, so that's gonna. I'm not sure if that directly sets Kog'Maw back. I'm not sure how dependent he is on blue, but he does spam mana just a little bit, and she does look like she's gonna be roaming around a little bit here, possibly going for a gank onto the bot lane. Oh, nope, just warding.
Yep. Kog'Maw is extremely dependent on blue. If he wants to, his one advantage he has over Orianna is having mana and being able to out-harass her with his ultimate.
And we do have Ezreal fairly low in the bot lane, and we do... Oh my gosh. Zach just low enough. And then the top lane, we have another gank coming out. We do have a death going on to Swain. The Ignite did pick it up. Jay still going pretty ham right there. Getting just a little bit of damage on to Hecarim, who has disconnected for the second time this game, and the game is paused.
Yeah, that gank by Hecarim, there was, again, another miscommunication. Swain was way too overconfident, only being level 5. Without his ultimate and being behind so much gold, Swain really should not have gone in as aggressively as he did with Hecarim. He kind of showed his hand prior to Hecarim even being there.
He did reconnect. Apparently he's having a lot of ping issues right now. So, for one thing, if you're being a mean person, don't DDoS the players, and I doubt you guys are actually doing that. And secondly, make sure someone's not torrenting in your house. That's an issue I've had in a tournament, where my ping was like just skyrocketed because someone didn't tell me that they were downloading, and we had to forfeit a match. So,
Hecarim just has to realize that having 2 monitors means that you should not have porn running on the other one. That's
exactly.
He's got to close it out.
So I should probably close my other windows, shouldn't I?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Darn it.
You're not lagging, though. Do you have ping issues?
No.
Well, then you're fine.
Which is weird because I'm using Skype, and I always have ping issues when I'm using Skype. But Jace, because of that DC, is just going to be able to just free farm top. It's going to be sad.
Yeah, the level difference in the farm gap is just increasing.
Ezreal just doing a lot of damage onto MF, and she answered it back with that rain right there.
The farms all across the board show that
TeamReal is doing good. Another disconnect from Hecarim.
We're at level 6, level 7. Leona and Misfortune have the advantage here. Lulu's still only level 5.
Yeah, they could essentially just go really dangerous, and that top lane is going to fall really soon. Yeah,
if Jace can push down that early tower, he might call for Zac to come up for the tower dive on Swain.
Oh, in the bot lane, we just witnessed Leona missing that Zenith Blade, trying to go on a Lulu, possibly going for that gank. Well, not even a gank right there, just going for that kill.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And Zac already has his mobility boot, so on top of being able to just slingshot over walls, he is just going to be able to do ridiculous amounts of things. Jace picking up another kill onto Swain at the top lane, and another disconnect from Hecarim. We do have, right now, Zac, just with mobility boots, able to be everywhere right now to apply pressure. And he might be coming to Kog'Maw on the mid lane.
We're just hitting 11 minutes in, and they're up. TeamRealDeal is up by over 4K right now. Having that early turret opens up Dragon, and we'll see them most likely force this Dragon at a roughly 13-minute, 14-minute mark.
And in mid lane, we just did have Kog'Maw's flash being wasted. Zac did come in for a gank. He felt it in his bones, and he flashed right out of the CC from that.
As we look at everybody's farms, 42-24 in the jungle, 97-73 Misfortune, and 97-91. The closest matchup is mid lane, and Swain is not having a good time. I'm hoping Swain wards his own jungle up, and then he's able to
We
free
have a
farm.
gank just coming out in the bot lane right now. They don't have enough efficient wards to see that he's in there. Just a ward over the wall.
And Zach is looking to tower dive this, and if they can get a kill or two here, they will surely do Dragon afterwards. Like I said, roughly the 13-14 minute mark.
I mean, right now,
Ezreal.
Everyone's in the bot lanes. Ult is up. Leona is going in with the Zenith Blade. Does get the stun ult off barrier out from Ezreal. He's looking fairly low. The ult out from Lulu as she goes away. And she might just die here. And she's going to go down to Zac with the stretch punch right there.
And this opens up the dragon. We'll see if Zach decides to try for it here with Misfortune. Misfortune Orianna being roughly full health, they should go for it here.
And now we do have 4 and 2 in the bot lane, and it does look like we are going to have this dragon come out.
Yeah, this dragon's going to be easily uncontested. Kog'Maw might foresee it and be able to ultimate in to try to take that, but I don't think it's going to happen. And that puts our early game gold lead to over 7k. Well, exactly 7k. And that lead will lead to probably an early mid push here. If we didn't see an early group from TeamRealDeal, I would be extremely surprised. They could easily knock down that middle turret and then re-split up to outpush all the lanes with the dominating lead that they have right now.
This game is so very one-sided, and I think it all came from that early game Lulu death right at level 1 in the jungle.
Well, I've noticed that the Moose team, they have been playing very tentative and defensive, and have just been taking a lot of free harass. They feel outweighted, I feel, in this game. They know what they're up against. They know they've seen their opponents play once before, and they just have been playing too tentative. They need to take the aggressive role and bring it to them rather than sit back.
I mean, it's you have a Hecarim. Hecarim's not a champion you can be really passive on, and that Ignite just getting the last pick on an Ezreal from Jace, putting him at a 3-0 lane. That ult from Orianna going out onto Lulu was just so good on top of that Leona ult. Again, they are the AoE team right now with the ultimates, and it's just going to be the fall of Team Moose right here. Losing a mid lane and possibly another mid tower on top of it because the entire team's here against 2 and about 3 of them now. So we'll see if they fight for this.
They definitely have the lead too. They'll probably just poke down with Jason, wait for an opportunity, but with their ultimates down, Misfortune, Orianna, and Leona ults still down, they probably won't have a hard turret engage.
And they do look like they're just gonna go for the red steal.
TeamRealDeal is just sealing the fate with objective control. They solidified that early lead, and now they're able to just run around and take as many objectives as possible to help ramp that lead. And they're doing a great job at it. Very textbook and what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Pink ward's actually coming out for Team Moose because right now RealDeal is just warding very, very deep. We do have a Sight Stone and a Philo Stone on the Leona, which is helping them fairly well in that just going around and gaining map pressure with wards.
Yeah, with this early gold lead, it's still extremely early in the game. If Moose team can pink ward out their jungle and catch somebody off guard on TeamRealDeal, they can easily jump back into this game with the momentum that they'll get from that kill. But they do not have any momentum whatsoever. They need to fight for that.
But right now they have a case of the fear because they are 0-9, they are down 3 towers. They are afraid to go out and even try to ward the simplest areas that they have reign of because of that lead that RealDeal has right now. So Lulu isn't going to be as warding as much as we hope to. They do have a ward in that bush, so they can see that Orianna just came over and placed another ward, and they will take it. Also, just guys, to be warned, these are live patches, so it's not like LCS where there are older patches. So everything that's here now is what you guys are playing on, so that Oracles is live.
Yeah, with the change of reducing its duration by a minute, and upon death, you still keep it.
Yeah. Doing a lot of damage to Zac right here. I don't think he's gonna fall, but they did get him fairly low. MF just coming over and picking up. I just can't even. Lulu going down from the barrage. Oh.
With the amount of poke that just went out, Misfortune Red Buff was able to take down Ezreal, and that between
and Swain.
Yeah.
She picked up Swain literally with the last tick of the burn from that red buff. And Zac just living, I don't even know how, but just living. And that just got them a free 2 towers right here, possibly, if they do want to continue to keep pushing it.
They still have Orianna ultimate, which is, and Zac ultimate for that matter, but Zac had to go B. But this is going to be a free base turret.
And they didn't even
Close,
go
anyway.
for it. We do have a disconnect coming from Kog'Maw right here, so don't know really much to say from all these disconnects.
Well, with an over 11, what is that, 11.4k, 12.4k?
Yeah.
4. With that sort of gold lead, it's very hard for TeamRealDeal to lose this lead. The only thing that they can screw up on is if they try to make a hastily Baron and Moose Team somehow steals that.
I mean, I don't think they will go for that Baron. We only have the last Whisper for Jace right now. We don't have his Manamune right now. So I don't think they're going to do that Baron until they have just about a amount of solid 2 items on each player.
I don't think it's necessary to go for it. I wouldn't recommend them going for it, but I think they easily could take it at this point in the game. Having 30k gold at 19 minutes as a team is fantastic.
And just disconnects coming out left and right for Team Moose right now. Not exactly sure what's happening. Hopefully it's actual internet issues and people not raging at each other causing the game. Okay, they are just DCing.
We never
So
know.
if I had that, I've had that happen before. Is people just like rage to the point of just, you know what? No, I don't want to be here. I know we're gonna lose. I just don't want to be here. And this is gonna be another tower going for TeamRealDeal, and that's an inhibitor tower too. Oh my gosh, the Lit's talent knocking back Swain perfectly into that Jace right there. The ult out from MF, and Lulu ulting herself in response to not die. And there's an inhibitor as well, and they're just gonna back off from this. This is actually where they might possibly pick up a Baron if they really wanted to.
Yeah, with that inhibitor, they're forcing the Moose team to stay in base, and I'm not sure if Moose team are aware of the disconnects, but if they are, it definitely gives them a firm advantage over Baron control. And we see a surrender going on.
Yeah, they had too many disconnects in that game.
Well, as a reflection of the game, they TeamRealDeal had much stronger team presence, but that was a result of individual work effort that they were putting out in lanes, just bullying their lanes to the point where their opposing team, the Moose team, could not farm on any lane except for middle. Kog'Maw ended that game 0-0-0. He was not really impactful at all, but he again did not die, so he did not technically lose his lane, but seeing Orianna on the other side as 2-0-4, she was able to help out, whether it be team fights or ganking. She didn't have a ton of ganks, but she did pick up that Lulu cleanup kill, which helped set up Dragon, which was a good play by her.
But that was just a ridiculous game, just showing how much potential you have with that composition of just AoE ults. Just sets ganks into motion so well.
If I go to the damage dealt to champions chart and look at those numbers, Jace and Misfortune just toppled over everybody. Jace roughly at 12,000 and Misfortune roughly at 8,000. The next closest was Kog'Maw at 5,000, and then everybody else was between 2 and 4,000, somewhere in that range. Orianna and Ezreal. Orianna surprisingly did not do very much damage to champions. She was there for her CC mechanics, and she mostly just farmed as a safeguard. I feel like if Jace and Misfortune had not done as well as they did, Orianna